In a significant effort to promote men's health and wellness, the Brilliance Foundation International, in collaboration with the Valley Hospital, organized the Brilliance Men's Health Workshop 2025 in Paramus, New Jersey. The workshop aims to raise awareness and educate the public on the early detection and treatment of critical yet often overlooked health conditions affecting men. The event gathered top medical professionals and experts to discuss vital health issues affecting men today. Among the distinguished panelists were Dr. Naveen Budhwani, Dr. Nick Liu, Dr. Umesh Gidwani, Dr. Neil Jawad, Dr. G. Protopapas, Dr. Rahat Salamat, Dr. D. Calamari Brinkrode, Dr. Medea Shahzadi and Brilliance Foundation CEO Kalsum Kazmi. The workshop offered certified health education specialists (CHES) credits, making it an informative and credential-building opportunity for professionals. The workshop designed to empower the community with knowledge and tools to take proactive steps in managing men's health. Please watch an exclusive report by Dunya International and Global TV USA.
Today is a very important event where we're focused on men's heart health. It's very, very important for all of us men to understand what our risk factors are, to seek an evaluation with their regular doctor even when they're healthy, to find out what potentially puts them at risk, and then if they have those risks, then to not only identify them, but then to treat them, and then find a heart doctor such as myself so as to help them with that process. It is better to find the problem before it hurts you.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Dr. Rahat Salamat. I'm consulting pulmonary critical care and sleep physicians with Valley Hospital in Ridgewood. We are gathered here today to celebrate or bring awareness for June Men's Health Month. We are going to talk about preventive care. Unfortunately, men die 5 years younger than women of multiple diseases, including heart disease and cancer. We are going to try and bring awareness how to start with the preventive care in men, and I am going to be talking about obstructive sleep apnea, how it is associated with prevention of multiple chronic illnesses, including heart disease, diabetes, and blood pressure. In the future, sleep apnea probably is going to be one of the preventive diseases that we should screen for. Sleep apnea causes, it is disproportionately higher, just like other illnesses in men, and it either causes or causes worsening of multiple diseases, including diabetes, blood pressure, as well as heart disease.
Hello, good morning. I am Dr. Medea Shahzadi. I am a primary care pulmonologist, intensivist, and sleep physician practicing in New Jersey in Bergen County, mainly in Paramus and Mahwah. Today we are doing another beautiful and wonderful seminar in collaboration with the Brilliance Foundation and also with the Valley Health System. Today we are going to talk about the men's health. We are covering very important topics today, and this seminar is totally different from our previous seminar. In this seminar, we are going to discuss what is the preventive medicine. What are the couple of very, very important underdiagnosed, undertreated, and misdiagnosed problems which are related to mental health. We are going to focus towards the mental heart condition, diabetes, hypertension, hyperlipidemia. We are going to talk about the colonoscopy, colon cancer screening. We are also going to talk about something which is very, very underdiagnosed and mistreated in our community, which is sleep apnea. We are also going to talk about the prostate cancer screening. So this is going to be the totally different seminar as compared to our previous seminar.
Hello everyone, my name is Marta Sujak. I'm the program coordinator for Bergen County Department of Health Services, Office of Health Promotion. We provide different variety of prevention programs for the residents of Bergen County. chronic disease, and cancer education and early detection programs.
Hi everyone, my name is Jillian Travilla. I'm a health educator with the Bergen County Department of Health Services, Office of Health Promotion. We are one of the multi-event providers for continuing education credits for certified health education specialists. And today is one of the first events that we partnered with the Brilliance Foundation to offer certified health education specialists continuing education credits for today's event.
Yeah, so I work in Valley Hospital's Community Health and Benefit Department. I'm a health educator. I'm the supervisor of the Community Education Department, or the Community Health Education section. We provide a ton of free education to the community. We also provide different services, but we provide education on all different health topics. Personally, I do a lot of nutrition education. I also do some education for moms and parents and families to support and empower moms through our Thrive program. We provide education on cardiac health. We provide education to seniors. We provide education in school systems. So we touch all different populations, and we provide education all for free, just to support and empower our community with education on health.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today at the first Men's Health Awareness Workshop at the Valley Hospital Conference Center. This definitely is an honor for Brilliance Foundation to conduct the first Men's Health Awareness event in the Valley Hospital. We gathered here today to spotlight the crucial issue of male health, a topic that, despite importance, often receives less attention than it deserves. Our goal today is to enlighten and educate each one of us about the unique health challenges men face and the impactful ways we can address them. By engaging in open dialogues and learning from health professionals, we aim not only to increase awareness but also to empower men and boys to take proactive steps towards healthier lives. Let's together work to break this stigma associated with men's health discussions and pave the way for a well-informed and health-conscious society.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. Thank you so much, Kulsoom, and thank you so much once again, the Valley Health System. We did our first workshop, as Kulsoom mentioned, in February. That was a very big success regarding the cardiovascular diseases. For this workshop, we worked very hard. We are doing this time totally different style of the workshop. Today, we are going to talk about the men's health. And then we discuss in our team member and with all the experts that what topics we should cover for the men's health. And we are going to go from the basic problem, which men always ignore. We always appreciate our family member, our father, our brothers, our husband, and also our kids later on, that how much they work hard for us. And that's why we decided that this workshop need to be done, because we know how much men ignore their health. I am facing it being a doctor every day, that how the men, they don't have a time. Basically, it's not that they don't have the knowledge, but they don't have the time. And they don't take those things seriously, which I think so they need to take it seriously. Please all welcome Dr. Kalmari.
Welcome everyone to Valley Hospital, and I appreciate the opportunity to reach out to the community today. Initially, I just want to go through what diabetes is, right? There's two different main types of diabetes. One is more genetically modified, which is the type 1 diabetics. And type 2 diabetes is the one that we'll focus mostly on today, because that is the one that we can really do a lot more lifestyle change with, and where a lot of our research and data lately is aiming at to help all of us to be able to decrease the biggest risk factor for type 2 diabetes, which is obesity. So why should we care about diabetes? It often hits men much harder with much more severe complications. The risks of heart disease, kidney disease, eye disease, erectile dysfunction, and many, many different other factors that have to do with diabetes This is a busy slide, but this is just to show where the meds are all targeted. So it's not just about the pancreas and insulin anymore. It's about the brain, the newer agents, that the injectables, we see Mounjaro, Ozempic, semaglutide, tirazepam. And these are all the areas that these drugs are starting to target. So you have your liver, you have your brain, you have urges to eat food. Those are all where the research is going into. So it's a hot topic. It's going to continue to be a hot topic. And the number one thing you can do is lose weight with type 2 diabetes. And we know now that a lot of times just diet and exercise is not enough, because it's a predisposition that some of us have to being obese, which is similarly going to be treated like a hypertensive patient too. These are the different classes of medications. As you can see, some are oral. Most were oral until maybe 10 years ago, we started with some injectables. 5 years ago, it got very popular in this country. They're expensive. I'm not going to lie. They're hard to get if you don't have insurance. But the drug companies have ways of doing that. And at our clinic, we work with the underserved, underrepresented. And we have a lot of programs where we can get some of these medications, and we do a lot with obesity management there. And this is our center. We have a center with men's health, women's health, OB, peds, and we're growing. We're in the old emergency room over at the Valley in Ridgewood. Thank you.
Please welcome Dr. Neil Jawad.
Peace be upon you all. My name is Dr. Neil Jawad. I'm a family medicine doctor by training, and like Dr. Shazali said, I work as a hospitalist here at Valley Hospital. So one of the two topics that I'm going to talk about, one is hypertension, what we call high blood pressure. I'm sure everyone here at some point in time has met someone that has high blood pressure, right? What are the problems with high blood pressure? I'd like to make this a little bit more interactive as opposed to just listening and watching the slides. What are some of the problems that can happen if you have high blood pressure? Anyone? Stroke. Absolutely. Many different things, right? Sorry? Death. Absolutely, death. That's probably the biggest, scariest one, right?
Probably the easiest one.
Yeah.
The heart is going to be working harder than it should be.
Absolutely, heart disease.
The whole heart and the cardiovascular system.
Absolutely. Unable to sleep. Okay, absolutely. What else?
It destroys your kidneys.
Destroys the kidneys, absolutely. What else? Headaches, absolutely. One of the other ones, dementia, right? Well, that's probably one of the biggest ones. But everything you guys said is absolutely 110% correct, right? So if you have high blood pressure and it just stays high, this is the one that we call the silent killer. Because you have no idea that your blood pressure is high. How am I going to know? You have to check your high blood pressure, right? And the way we can do that is with a blood pressure machine. And a blood pressure machine is a little cuff. How can I check my blood pressure in general, right? So let's say you go on Amazon and you look up blood pressure kit or blood pressure monitor. You can buy one for maybe about $30, $40, and there's two types. One that goes on the wrist and one that goes right here on the arm. Ideally, I would say get the one that goes onto the arm as opposed to the wrist. And the reason, if you have a wrist one, that's okay. If you have to pick between the two, pick the one that goes on the arm. And the reason being, it's kind of like a garden hose, right? Your blood pressure in general. So as you go further away from the body, it gets smaller. So if water's coming out of that garden hose and the hole is getting smaller, the pressure increases. So if you're checking your blood pressure here, you're going to get a falsely high number. But again, if you have that one at home, that's okay. Continue to use it. How do I do it? What do I do? In the morning, relax, sit down, 5 minutes. Don't drink anything, don't eat anything, kind of hang out for a little bit. Check your blood pressure, write it down. At the end of the day, check your blood pressure again, write it down. Check it 2 times a day. Record that for about a week to 2 weeks, and then you can bring that to your doctor and say, these are my numbers, talk to me about it, what should we do? Now, there are a whole slew of medications that could be started. Every single There's many, many different types of medication that can be started. Some are once a day, some are twice a day, some are even 3 times a day, which is a little hard. Tell your doctor, I don't know if I can take a medication twice a day. Honestly, realistically speaking, because I know it's difficult, right? We got busy lives. We got a lot of things going on. Doc, for me, once a day, I can do once a day. That's probably what I would like to do. Because we would like full transparency, so it allows us the best opportunity to help take care of that blood pressure. So then, okay, your blood pressure is a little bit on the high side. Perhaps we can start thinking about medications. But prior to doing that, what can we do to help bring that blood pressure down on our own, right? So there are a few things that you can do. And as we always talk about, diet and exercise are probably one of the biggest ones. And another one that I want to throw in there is smoking, right? So smoking by default, if you stop vaping, which is one of the big ones, hookah, smoking, your blood pressure will drop almost 20 points just from there alone. Exercise-wise, it can drop another 10 to 15 points. And when I say 10 to 15 points, I'm talking about that top number for the most part, right? Because that's the one that we really worry about. Now, just doing those 2 things alone, you can address your blood pressure and drop it down 20, 30 points.
I was assigned to talk about heart disease, being a cardiologist, and so what is that? This cardiovascular disease. So cardio means heart, vascular means blood vessel, so all of those things would be falling under the job of a cardiologist. They just don't like to call us cardiovascular disease specialist. It's just a really long title. So your heart doctor is in charge of your heart. It's also in charge of all of your blood vessels from head to toe, and all of them being equally important. Dr. Jawad had just recently spoken about the emphasis of heart disease related to hypertension, which I'll show you. And here's a little statistic. On the left side of the screen is 1990 data, and on the right is 2021 per census data. And it shows you that there were 5 million deaths related to heart attack and 5 million deaths related to stroke 30 years ago. Those numbers have now increased by 60 and 40%. So 9 million deaths occurring from heart attack alone, and that's after 30 years of advancements in healthcare. In the blood vessels, there are 2 blood vessels, so there's arteries and veins. People oftentimes get them confused, so I figured I would just clarify. The arteries are the blood vessels that get the blood from the heart out to the body, and veins are the blood vessels that receive the blood from outside and bring it back to the heart. Both of them can carry their own vascular risk and need to be managed independently. Most of the cardiac and artery problem, this is related to atherosclerosis. So what is atherosclerosis? It's plaque. It is plaque that develops in the middle vessel wall of your artery, and it can develop for a variety of reasons, and that is what leads to an event. So we're just going to go over some terms, and then we're going to get back into atherosclerosis. So ischemia, what is ischemia? Ischemia, people hear these terms, is just basically poor blood flow to an organ system, and then you can develop certain signs depending on what organ system is involved. Heart attack is typically blockage that leads to a blood clot. And so that is 2 minutes ago he was fine. What happened to Johnny? I saw him on the driveway, and now Johnny's no more. So heart attacks can occur very, very quickly. Stroke is the same exact idea, just a different organ system. So one would be considered a heart attack, stroke would be considered brain attack. And so it is the same process where there's an abrupt cutoff of blood flow. And then I believe one of the other speakers had spoken about that there's different types of strokes. So there is poor blood flow, and then there's a bleeding stroke as well. But very similarly, heart attack and stroke are the same mechanism of what can occur in just different body parts.
As we mentioned that we are ignoring men's health, women are much more aware of their health issues than men, and fortunately or unfortunately, women are the caregivers, and they are very involved in the health of men in their family. So keeping that in mind, I am going to start with some of the statistics looking at why this is important and why obstructive sleep apnea is involved in as an integral part of men's health. So if you look at the data, 9 out of 10 top causes of death occur in men more than women. Men die 5 years earlier than women. They have more blood pressure, they're more likely to smoke and drink and are overweight and twice likely to have heart disease. And yet, looking at that statistics, half of them do not go for a preventive visit. They are at higher risk of cancer death, heart disease, diabetes, and high blood pressure, and they're more likely to be uninsured. 3 out of 5 men get annual physical exam compared to women, and over 50% don't even care about their health or talk about their health. And the number one killer, the heart disease, most of them don't even have any symptoms. So this concept, how many people think snoring is normal? How many people think obstructive sleep apnea is normal? So that's the problem. First, we do not recognize, and we have this concept about that all men snore, which is not true. But as you go from being roaring to snoring, that is a disease of old age in men, more compared to women. But after menopause, women kind of match men. There are more than 40% men who have obstructive sleep apnea, women 24%. Their presenting symptoms are different. Men tend to snore more, complain more of daytime sleepiness, and one ignored symptom, which is waking up at night to go to the bathroom, which is called nocturia. We see so many people coming from urologists after they have ruled out. I am, in fact, the end stop of all these specialities. Whatever they can't find or whatever the disease is being caused, they end up with a sleep physician. If you have a family history, alcohol, smoking, neck size, more than 17 inches in men puts you at increased risk, and other conditions that I mentioned. So common symptoms that are again ignored and are vague, just like other diseases. Unfortunately, sleep apnea symptoms are so vague that people think it's because of disease, it's because of my stress, and they ignore. If you look on the prevalence of sleep apnea as a comorbid condition, it is high numbers, anywhere from 20% to 40%. ADHD, dementia, depression, stroke, heart failure, diabetes, acid reflux, obesity, these are all coexisting diseases. These patients have much higher incidence of sleep apnea than somebody who does not have these diseases. So what are the symptoms? Sleepiness, tiredness during the daytime, poor memory, concentration, irritability, mood disorders, and falling asleep while driving or talking to people when it is severe. Family noticing, choking, gasping for air. Snoring is a big deal. Most of the patients who have sleep apnea would have snoring, but everybody who snores does not have sleep apnea. So screening, how do we do? Risk factors like we mentioned, if your BMI is more than 30 or 35, if you're above age 50, your neck circumference is more than 17 inches, or you can say collar size 17 inches. Males more common. If the family have noticed you're snoring, you're tired, and your blood pressure is high, and some family members have noticed you stop breathing at night. If you have any 3 of these indicators, you need to be screened. How do we diagnose? Now we have testing. People were worried about they have to go in the sleep lab, and they worry about the treatment, which they usually attribute to having a mask on their face. So I'm just going to briefly touch on how we diagnose. Diagnosis is much easier now. We have a sleep apnea apps even coming. We are coming with Wi-Fi, new equipment that you're going to probably not have to put on anything. You can do it easily at home. You can, if you have a complicated diseases or complicated issues, then only we take you to the lab. Now you have wearables which can screen and pick up. Apple Watch has a sleep apnea screening app now, which is going to pick up moderate to severe sleep apnea.
How does colon cancer start? We know colon cancer is the 3rd most common cancer in this country, right? You know, when patients come in to see us and no one's ever really excited to see a GI doctor. We probably rank up there with dentists in terms of people that, specialists that, patients have to see. We always start off by telling them, listen, we're not talking about a rare cancer out there. We're talking about a very common, very preventable cancer in this country, right? It's the third most common cancer in men and women in this country. It's the second leading cause of cancer deaths in this country. Fortunately, it's exceedingly preventable, because the premise of colon cancer screening is that if you can get at the problem before it becomes a problem, you can avoid years of misery, as I think Dr. Calamari had in her slide. So where does colon cancer start from? We know that about 95% of colon cancers will start off as a polyp, a little growth in the top lining of the colon. The colon is the large intestine, same thing. Anytime you hear those two words, colon, large intestine, they refer to the same exact organ. And we find the goal of colon cancer screening is to try to identify these polyps with the goal of removing them, because we know that if you can remove those growths, you can significantly minimize the risk of developing colon cancer in the next 5 to 10 years. So, these polyps are abnormal growths in the lining of the colon, similar to like weeds on your front lawn, right? And these polyps will grow for a variety of reasons: age, genetic risk factors, cigarette smoking, obesity, low fiber diets, high processed food intake, high red meat intake. These are some of the most important variables that are out there that, again, are associated with colon cancer. And there's more and more data coming out of other, sort of less common things that may be associated. And again, we are seeing a big rise in colon cancer in younger adults in this country. And that's the primary reason why the screening age was revised downwards about 4 years ago, right? It was always, turn 50, have a 50th birthday party, then go see a GI doctor. Now that screening age is 45, and we'll get to that in a subsequent slide. So what is a colonoscopy? Again, we're talking about garden hoses all morning. I think I'm the only one that can actually take credit for that label at this point. These are procedures that are done under IV sedation. So an anesthesiologist will give you a medication through an IV that keeps you completely asleep for the duration of the test. I see some older patients in this room. They may have had colonoscopies 20, 30, 40 years ago. You were probably awake or half awake during those procedures, because the sedation that used to be used was a lot different than what is used nowadays. But again, the procedure on average will take about 10, 15 minutes. It's done under intravenous sedation. We take a long, thin, flexible tube that has a camera at the end that goes in from below, and we look at the entire 5 to 6 feet of colon.
Now I am going to invite Ms. Kulsoom Kazmi. Ms. Kulsoom Kazmi is the person behind all these efforts. That's why we all are here. She's the CEO and the founder of the Brilliance Foundation, and she is going to talk about the mental health.
Thank you, everyone. Once again, thanks for joining. And I would just briefly go over our mental health, the importance of mental health that affects our physical overall well-being. I'll just go briefly because we are going to scheduling our mental health awareness workshops, and there we will go in detail with our panels. But I really want to talk about, I would say, the most powerful and complex organ of our body is like your brain, and how brain affects body and how our mind shapes our body. For example, we know that the relationship between mind and body is profound, with our mental state significantly influencing physical health. For example, chronic stress raises cortisol levels, leading to weight gain, poor sleep, and weakened immunity. Mindfulness and meditation and improve well-being by reducing stress, lowering blood pressure, and reducing stress and boosting immune system and function. Psychological resilience also speeds up recovery for illness or surgery. Balancing mental habits with physical care is essential to overall wellness. Then mind-body link is key in psychology and holistic medicine. Psychological factors like stress, anxiety, depression impact heart rate, blood pressure, and immune function. And psychological behaviors conversely enhance mood and cognitive performance. Yoga and meditation use this connection to promote relaxation and discipline. Managing stress effectively shows how mental and physical health are intervene. The psychology of fitness examines how we know that mental factors influence exercise performance and well-being. Motivation, confidence, and anxiety affect engagement in physical activity. And strategies like goal setting, visualization, and resilience training improve exercise consistency and athletic results. They get definitely better and helps overcome barriers to fitness, benefiting both physical and mental health, and also help in reducing depression, anxiety, which lead to the many mental and health and physical health problems. Applying these principles make exercise more effective and enjoyable and productive. The effect of stress and anxiety, we all know how it affects not only our emotional health but our physical health also. Stress triggers cortisol and adrenaline and increasing heart rate, blood pressure, and breathing. Chronic stress also contributes to heart disease, digestive problems, and weakened immunity causes muscle tension like areas of neck, shoulder, back, and chronic pain that disrupts occasionally sleep, increase fatigue, and harms overall well-being. So managing stress is crucial for long-term physical health. There are many techniques and therapies like meditation, deep breathing, and muscle relaxation integrate mind and body. So reduce stress, improve emotional control, and activate the body's relaxation response. Enhance self-awareness and connection between thoughts, emotion, and physical sensations. All these mind-body powers. Regulate practice helps managing challenges and boosts performance. So it's time to combine physical and mental health exercises, also mental and physical combinations like yoga, martial arts with mental resilience training, like practice mindfulness meditation, deep breathing for clarity and stress reduction and anxiety. Also, a very important topic that Dr. Neil mentioned, and he has this great flyer to share and take home. Eat a balanced diet, fruits, vegetables, proteins, whole grains to help our brain and body both. So maintaining constant sleep schedule, better routine also helps. So I would like to finish with this one, that stay informed on wellness trends and adapt habits to optimal well-being, combine mind and body, both interplay connections with healthy habits. We should start it today, and we should move on with this message that this is the beginning. And I know this is hard, but we need to break this mental emotional, I would say, it's a stigma that men are very rarely and are coming up to talk about their health issues. But we need to do this. All should take this responsibility. All the women in this room, they should encourage the men in their life, in their families, to come and openly talk about their health, physical and mental both. And wherever there is need to see some professional or professional help, please don't hesitate. Come for both kind of mental and physical. They both are interconnected and both are important. When we need for the men in our lives, for our society, for a healthy society, for men and women, we should encourage and motivate our men to come towards and be part of these talks and more comfortably. And I'm sure next time we will have more male crowd, but we all need to work for that together. Thank you.
My name is Nick Liu. I'm the medical director of Valley Medical Group Urology. And let the show begin. All right, so why are we here today? Well, some may know this, but prostate cancer is the most common solid organ cancer in American men. And it's also the second leading cause of cancer in men as well. But it is not anywhere close to the leading cause of death in men, however. So hopefully today I'll be able to show you how to lower your risk, how to understand minor screening, and hopefully navigate some treatment options for prostate cancer. So what is the prostate gland? I get asked this all the time, and I don't quite exactly know the function of the prostate. When we talk about the colon, the heart, I think the functions are very obvious. But the prostate, I really don't know why men actually have it. But what we do know is that it's only found in men. So for those women patients out there, you don't have to worry about prostate cancer. It is also part of the reproductive system. It produces a fluid for semen. Not the semen itself, semen is actually in the testicle, but the seminal fluid, which is responsible for the majority of the ejaculated fluid, comes from the prostate. It sits deep in the pelvis, just underneath the bladder and in front of the rectum. It's not an easy place for urologists to get to. And a normal prostate size is about the size of a walnut. So what is prostate cancer? Prostate cancer is a abnormal growth of cells. So just like colon cancer, it's just a normal cell that turn cancerous. And these cancer cells can grow within the prostate. It can then get in the bloodstream. It can then spread to the lymphatic system. It can travel throughout the rest of the body. However, if you learn nothing from today's lecture, just know that most prostate cancer is actually very, very slow growing. In fact, sometimes so slow growing that I offer no treatment options to my patients. Not all prostate cancer needs to be removed. Not all prostate cancer needs to be radiated. This is the 2024 cancer statistics, and as you can see, prostate cancer is ranking #1 on top of the list for male cancer. But it's not the leading cause of death. So similar to breast cancer in women, prostate cancer, about 1 in 8 men will end up with prostate cancer by age 60 or older. So it is a cancer of older men. It is not a cancer of younger men. Family history can play a strong predisposition to having prostate cancer. So having a first-degree relative like your father or your brother, that they can double your risk of having prostate cancer. So certainly, if in your family there's more male predominance for prostate cancer, that can also elevate your risk as well. We also know that certain racial predisposition can cause more aggressive prostate cancer. So, for example, in the Black Americans, they tend to have more aggressive prostate cancer. And there's only so many times I think as physicians we can hammer the point of exercise and walking. Exercise is absolutely key. Looking at over 2,700 men with localized prostate cancer, having vigorous exercise greater than 3 hours a week can greatly reduce the risk of you dying from prostate cancer by 61%. And then if you don't even look at prostate cancer mortality, you actually decrease the risk of you dying from anything by almost 50%. And let's say that you can't hit the gym 3 hours a week, which is a lot, and I'm not even close to that. Let's say that you just want to go out and walk 30 minutes a day. If you walk 90 minutes a week, you actually decrease the risk of you dying from all-cause mortality by 46%.